Cool, and we're live. This is the Born Free Podcast, episode 13. We're doing something different right about now. It's something called Music Exchange. So what I want to do with this whole thing is I basically want to showcase music from different parts of the world, right? Being in the continent of Africa, we're very influenced with what's mainstream in other continents and in other countries as well. But I also want to showcase music from people we might not know of yet, independent artists that are making waves in their respective markets and their respective circuits internationally. So today I really want to start with someone that I have been monitoring for a while. This is back in the days of the Brainwash Lifestyle blog that I used to do, that I used to check out like independent artists from across the world. He's one of the people that I really felt was very dope, was very authentic. I liked his music. I liked his work ethic. I liked his hustle. This is New York MC by the name of UFO Fev, all the way from East Harlem, New York. What's up, Fev?
Oh, thank you for having me. Shout out to everybody on the motherland. You heard?
Awesome stuff, man. For those people who don't know you yet, and I really think they'll probably start getting to know you and get into your music. What style of music do you make?
I make hip hop first and foremost. That's the genre, and the style of hip hop I make is pretty much the street. That raw, it's not to the extreme of street music, but it's raw everyday life coming from the ghetto of where I'm from.
And in terms of like your subject matter, what do you cover in your musical works?
A lot of the things that are going on currently, race issues, poverty, equality amongst us in our neighborhoods, in our projects, in our ghettos, a lot of stuff, man. Everything that's I don't really talk about celebrating too much because we haven't really been celebrating. So most of it is just mainly real life, everyday struggle kind of thing.
Dope, dope. And I remember listening to one of your interviews. I think it was a freestyle. I'm just can't put my finger on it. I think it was with the Flex freestyle. Um,
Hmm.
they asked about your name, and you said something about you got that from Black Rob, but you didn't get time to actually elaborate on that point. How did Black Rob give you the name?
He gave me the name Fev. Rob is from the same building I grew up in. We both from the same housing complex. So as I was coming up the ranks, he was just kept his ear to the street. Rob has always been in the street. So one day we came across each other, and he didn't know I was rapping. So he said, "Yo, I heard you rhyming out here, man. I heard you got a little fever," and that's where it came from, man.
Oh, okay. So the whole fever is UFO fever.
Yeah, UFO fever.
Okay,
Rob
so
said. Rob said you had. Rob was like, he said, "Yo, man, word on the street is you got a little fever out here." And I was like, "Yeah, after we parted ways after the conversation, I just kept hearing him say, you got a little fever out here." So I'm like, "Yo, fever," you know what I'm saying?
dope. So is this prior to him? Is this during Bad Boy days? Is this
Yeah, this is
post that?
during the back. Yeah, this is about at the height of him having his run at Bad Boy.
So did that culminate in you expanding your presence in rap, or was that just you knew where you were going at that particular point? Or
Most definitely, that put me on the track. You know what I'm saying? That put me into a situation because I was rapping like had he heard, but I didn't have no identity. I didn't know, I didn't have a solid name. I didn't know, I was rapping about a million guns and
yeah,
cars, and I was just rapping, man, as a young, and when he said that, it kind of gave me the identity, like, all right, man, it's time to figure this out.
dope. So for some people that don't know the difference between the different boroughs, man, you're from Harlem, right? East Harlem to
Yes,
be
sir.
exact.
Yes, sir.
What's the difference between the other boroughs like Queens and
Right.
Yonkers, etc., etc.? What makes East Harlem stand out? What makes it
Right.
different?
Well, there's five boroughs. There's Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx, and Staten Island, and mainly in each borough is made up of various neighborhoods. So I'm
Yeah.
from Manhattan, and then Manhattan is East Harlem, is Harlem,
Oh, okay.
right? So Manhattan is the island, and uptown. If you went uptown on the island, you'd run into Harlem. Now Harlem is huge. You know, when you think of Harlem, you think of the West Side, 145th and Broadway and stuff. Now we're from the East Side. The East Side is a lot smaller. It's a radius of about 20 blocks. It begins on 99th Street and it ends on 125th. So just to give you an idea, it's very small. It's not that big. Um, the Bronx is the big. Brooklyn is the biggest borough, and then you have Queens, and then the Bronx makes up. You know, the Bronx has Yonkers in it, uh, Mount Vernon, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Other communities that make up the Bronx. So yeah, I'm from East Harlem. It's a small neighborhood in Manhattan. It's predominantly Latino and African American. You know, we have the most housing projects in New York, second to
Yeah.
Brownsville, and it's just a small. It's like a small Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is. It's like a small Puerto Rico.
So like when I came across your music, I came across actually I came across two features that you did, right? One was Lex Lavo's record. I think it was Round Here, if I'm not
Yeah, around
mistaken.
here. Yep.
Yeah. And then another one was I'm missing the artist's name, right? No, Lord Riddles. Lord Riddles.
Yeah. Yep.
The record was called
Mojo.
Mojo Back.
Mojo.
Mojo
Yeah.
Back, yeah. So until then, you dropped a project Around My Way. How has your transition into and your growth musically changed from back when you were doing those records and your record Around My Way till now? Like what has changed musically, and also where you are in your career?
Right. That's an awesome question. Musically, um, I guess right before music is just as an adult, I've matured from both situations. You know, Around My Way was an awesome learning experience. I've got to at the time of doing Around My Way was around the time where streaming, where the industry was
Yeah,
shifting to streaming. So I got to learn a lot, the due process of making Around My Way. You know, CD. We made CD. We printed up like 1,000 CDs of Around My Way, and CDs were becoming obsolete at that
yeah.
very moment. Like at that very moment,
When you made that
like
decision.
the day the CDs came in, everybody was like, "Oh, CDs are dead." So you know, it was like a learning curve, and from there, I took it upon myself to study the iTunes. You know, learn about TuneCore,
Yeah,
learn
yeah,
about streaming. You know, all that stuff. So I was a little bit it was a learning process. And then like with the records with like Lex and Riddles, those were transformations. I was growing into the artist I am now. Uh I helped those gentlemen were on the come up themselves, and you know,
yeah,
they reached out to me to make it happen. So at that time, I was just trying to kill everything. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to
yeah,
really rap. Like I just wanted to rap and work on my craft. And then at this point in time, we dropped, you know, right now it's 2017 going into 2018. We dropped Camouflage earlier this year along with
yeah,
Mr. Nice Guy. And that'll, you know, when you listen to the music, you could hear the growth.
yeah.
You could hear the transition. And it's just a lot of learning experiences that help, you know?
Yeah, and definitely you can actually hear the difference between um the Around My Way record and Camouflage. Like there's a sonically you could be mistaken and say it sounds the same, but there's a certain difference, a certain subject matter that changes from Around
Right.
My Way. And another thing about Camouflage is it's more lean. You know what I'm saying? It's an easier listen as
Right.
opposed to Around My Way because you're still trying to get to know the artist. But
Right.
with Camouflage, I think you did a very good job with condensing everything and just giving people who you are in a
Thank you.
more palatable manner. But yeah, let's talk about some of how did that record come about, like the whole Camouflage? What's the meaning behind that title, and what were you trying to achieve with the music on that project?
The meaning. Thank you very much for your kind words, man. The meaning behind the title. I'm a huge fan of like military things. You know,
Yeah.
U.S. history and all our history. Everything military. So camouflage has been around. You know, it's one of the like camouflage is just one of the illest things I think we've ever seen as human beings. Like, you know, whether it be a chameleon, you know, camouflaging himself. So I kind of wanted to give, for me, it represents me being here this whole time.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that I was always, you know, I'm a soldier on the front line of my fight, and I've been here the whole time. And camouflage best represents me. And how'd I get like what the second part of the question was? How'd I get
Well,
to
yeah, like the content behind that. What were you trying to achieve with the music on that project?
To be honest, well, I wasn't trying. I knew I had to make something that stood out this time. You feel me? Like I
Yeah.
knew I had to give people. I had a situation where I dropped the project EP last year called Taxes, and
The
when
5-track
I dropped
EP.
the EP, yeah, when I dropped the EP, I got a phone call from Puff from P Diddy.
Oh, okay.
Um, Yeah, like he was a fan. Like he was a fan. It wasn't a phone call like to get any business done. He just wanted to meet. Like he just wanted to talk to the person who
Who made the
made
record?
the music.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, he had a lot of good things, a lot of good things to tell me. And him and his staff have been very influential since then. So, like in that process, after that phone call, I knew we had the industry standard sound
Yeah.
now. You know, that I could make stuff that they would like, and that I just needed to make something a lot stronger. So
Yeah.
with Camouflage, I just took my time, and I knew that the music just had to be delivered right.
Cool, cool. I want to talk about a record on the one of my favorite records, or maybe.
Mm.
Yeah, that verse, the first verse, pardon me, man. Like, there's a lot of depth in that record, and you can see it in the video as well. I think you have your daughter in there.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
How did you go about recording that, or just writing that? What was your mind state like when you did that record?
I wrote the hook originally, and I was gonna, you know, I was thinking like maybe was maybe the last. I think maybe was the last record I recorded for
Yeah,
Camouflage, and I just wanted something to say, that I'm not. And you know, it's cliche, but I wanted to tell people I'm not wasting your time.
yeah,
You know, pretty much like a salesman. I wanted to
yeah,
let you know that, you know, the quality of the stuff I was delivering was going to be worth it if you
yeah,
were willing to, you know, give me a chance. So that's why the hook says, you know, I could waste time telling you about all the things that I didn't do,
yeah,
but would you be interested maybe if I said the truth?
yeah,
So, because you know, nowadays is you could just talk about anything. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And people will be
It doesn't have to
arguing.
be factual. It doesn't have to
Yeah, it
be
doesn't have to be factual,
meaningful.
man. And you'll
Nothing.
get at all, you know, and you'll get people that debate over something that's fake. You know,
Yeah.
a person will be like, yo, man, he really got it, you know, and it's like, you know, how about if I told y'all the truth? Would you, you know,
Would you still be
how would it
interested?
work?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Would you still be interested if you heard the truth? Because everybody always wants to know the truth, but I think the truth is like one of the biggest things people fear the most.
Yeah. Moving into your growth, I think let's talk about that the flex freestyle. How did you, well, you've done prior freestyles. I think you did Sway before that, you did the
Yeah.
Hot Box
Um,
before that,
yeah, we did DJ Enough before that. We
Enough
did
as well,
Tony
yeah.
Touch. Yeah.
So obviously flex being like a staple of hip hop, especially in New York, um
Mm-hmm.
that had to be a different feeling. How did that go about? How did
I
you go
was
about arranging
nervous.
that?
I was
You
nervous
you
as
didn't look it.
thank you, man. But you know, it was one of those moments where I didn't look at it like for like once I left the room, I took like a deep breath, like
It's done.
like yeah, like holy shit, like did we just walk out the room? So actually the way it came about was through Fat Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, I recently signed a partnership situation with Joe, and that was the first thing I asked for.
Yeah. I
That
need
was
to
the
be on
first thing
flex.
I need to go up to Flex, Joe, man. And he was looking at me like, for real? Like, you want to go to Flex? I'm like, yo, I need to go up to Flex, man. Make it happen. And he was just so happened that he was debuting his single that week.
Yeah, with
And
Dre.
it worked out beautifully, man.
Yeah.
I got the call like, yo, tomorrow I'm taking you up there. And I was like, oh, I was in the supermarket. And he called like, yo, get ready. Tomorrow we going up to Flex. I'm like, oh yeah, this is it.
Damn, it's dope. That's dope. No, congratulations on that. And that verse was fire as well. So
Thank you
I
so
think
much, man. Thank you.
the only concern I had, it was short. I was like, oh, you're gonna keep going.
That's everybody's, because I honestly thought he was gonna let me keep going, man.
Yeah.
Like, uh, from a lot of the behind the scenes people, man. From what I understand, is just they didn't expect that from me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Flex is a big fan now. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't. I guess we took him by surprise, man. But it won't be the first time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see you guys also try to pamper him, had the food up there, had the Ace of Spades.
Yeah. We had the that's Joe, man. That's these legends. They know how to do what they do, man. They
Yeah.
made a movie. I was just blessed to get to see a 20-year relationship, how it works. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Hopefully you and I could share those kind of
Most
moments in the
definitely.
future as well. You know what I'm saying? The fact of Joe having such a relationship with Flex, and then just being able to go up. I mean, not everybody could take Philippe Childs up to Flex
Yeah.
with Ryder, and people can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I was just honored and blessed to be there, man.
Dope, dope, dope. Let's touch on that relationship with Joe, because I don't. It seemed like it came out of nowhere. Because like I'm just scrolling through your Instagram, scroll through your Twitter. I'm like, okay, you hanging around with Joe a lot. So I'm thinking it's a whole he's taking you under his wing, but you said something about it being a partnership. So what does that partnership entail? If you can share what you can.
Yeah, man, Joe. Well, I met Joe last year, November. So I was around him for a little while before I like took any pictures and stuff. I was just trying to. I'm
It's
not
okay.
really. Yeah, exactly. I'm not really a quick picture snapper or social media guy. So like a lot of stuff was going on that I was just like the puff call, man. Nobody,
Yeah.
people don't really know about that. I never
Yeah.
really, but my relationship with Puff and my relationship with Joe, they were being nurtured as I was going, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it took a long time for Joe and I to figure out a situation. I pretty much stood firm on what I believed in.
Yeah.
And Joe believes the same thing in me. He sees the same thing. So as of right now, Joe's an independent artist, man. I'm partnered with Joe the same way he's partnered with like Remy, Joe,
Okay.
because Joe doesn't believe in Joe has artists signed, and I don't want to speak for him, but from what I see, Joe has a vision, like keeping independence. Like if you're willing to learn, he's willing to give you the
Yeah.
strategy of how to survive
Yeah. Get
independent.
it
You know what I'm
yourself,
saying?
basically.
Yeah. So Joe sees that in me, and that's our relationship. Like he's just pretty much gonna show me the ropes of how to stay independent. And we have ties with Rock Nation,
Okay.
and they when we have the content of quality that we feel is right,
You're gonna bring it
then
up
we'll
there.
deal with. Yeah, we'll bring it up there. But for now, Joe is just an essential independent artist,
Yeah.
and he wants to see. For me, he wants to see me win, and he's going to teach me the ropes, man, on how to get it.
Dope, dope, dope. So how? Okay. So does this relationship come with some music potentially?
Oh, of course, man. Joe and I have a few joints recorded, but um, things are gonna. I just gotta be patient, man.
Yeah.
You
It's
just
just
gotta,
yeah.
yeah. I'm still figuring out my sound, doing what I do. But yeah, we got some bombs, and once he's ready to, once he's tuned in, it's gonna be a movie.
Yeah. Um. I don't know if this is a fair comparison. It's just something that I've been just noticing, especially with yourself, Lavo, and and Dave East. Does East Harlem have a certain cadence? You guys don't sound alike, but you can tell like it's different from other New York areas, man. Would you say that's
Mm-hmm.
a fair analysis?
Yeah, I would have to say so. I
And Dave
mean,
is from where you're from, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He reps the same neighborhood I do. Yeah, I would think we have the same diction, like we I guess a heavy pronunciation on the
Yeah.
words. Like there's a bottom to our
Yeah.
sentences, I would
Yeah.
say.
Definitely.
So for me it comes from like a lot of Beanie Siegel, like a lot of the
Oh,
Philadelphia
Philadelphia.
rappers. Yeah, for me it comes from a lot of the Philadelphia rappers and G Dep.
Yeah. Oh,
Because G Dep, he had that cadence where it's like he'll lean on a word. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
Another
yeah,
one of
that's
those
my
bad
those.
boy eras. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's where it comes from for me.
Would you have you ever had, because I know he's on Lex's records, prior record, have you ever had an interaction with him, seeing that
Wait,
he
wait,
with East?
yeah, East and I recorded. We did a feature for a friend of ours, Matthew Ragazzino. He
Oh
had
yeah,
a
yeah, he's
he had
from
a remix. He's
Brownsville.
from Yeah, he's from Brownsville.
Brownsville,
Yep.
yeah. Dope
He
as
had
well,
a
dope spitter.
yeah, dope MC. He had a remix to a record of his called Dipset Anthem, and Dave and
Oh
I,
yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
yeah,
East is definitely on that. Yeah,
yeah,
with the
Dave
pink
and I
cover, the whole, yeah, yeah.
Yep, yeah. I
I
go
love that
right
record
before
actually.
yeah, exactly. That's a classic, man. A lot of people
Ooh,
forget about that. Matthew's a Brooklyn MC, and he had all the artists from Harlem on there, so
yeah,
that was dope. So yeah, Dave and I have hung out and recorded. We haven't had like I always see Dave. Like the funny thing is, I always see Dave like out of town. Like I've
yeah,
never seen him in the hood, like because our schedules always. So like
yeah. Conflicting.
I just was in Miami like 2 months ago, and I saw him. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, much love. Keep moving, man. Keep doing what you do. But soon enough, man, when the people want it, it'll happen.
Dope. Um, Another thing that differentiates you yourself with other independent artists that I'm looking at is you seem to have a very business savvy approach to things, right? In combination with your company, the High Enterprise, that's your company, right?
Right.
With the merch and everything, is that something you've learned on your journey as an independent artist, or is that something you've always really had in your mind? Is that something that you were taught?
Yes, sir. It's a little bit of both. One, I've had it in my because we come from the ghetto, so you take things and you try to make them as shiny as they can.
Yeah, hustler's mentality.
So yeah, hustler's mentality. So I've always known that if we were gonna, if I was gonna call myself an electrician, then I had to do the whole building. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
There's no excuse. I had to make sure all the wires were straight. So and being starting a record label, I always understand. As an artist, there's a lot of artists get into the music business and expect to see like revenue income right away.
yeah, immediately.
Yeah, immediately. And that's not how it works in anything. That's not how it works in anything. You have to do a few years of free work.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I always knew I was gonna have to generate income, man. So the merch is just a part of, it worked on the first run around my weight hats.
Yeah,
People were like, yo, this is so after I seen I had something, I just kept to it.
yeah. And how's the success going with the High Enterprise ones?
Beautiful, man. Everywhere I go, I see how we gotta get you some, man, out there.
Yeah, bring some out here in South
Yeah, we
Africa,
gotta
man.
make sure
Joburg.
you get some. We gotta send you some out there to Joburg, man, and so you could rep off for us.
No,
They doing
definitely,
good,
man.
man. The hats are doing awesome, man, and I love to see people. I went out with Joe the other night. We went to a strip club and they were like two dudes with hats on. I didn't
Yeah,
know, I didn't
you
know
ain't.
who these guys were. Like, and I'm telling the photographer standing next to me, like, yo, look, he got a high hat on. And the photographer's like, you know him? I'm like, no, I don't know him. Like,
Just
I
off the
even went to
strength
say
of
what's up to the
the.
dude. Yeah, to just see if the dude would recognize, me being attached to the
Yeah,
brand, and he didn't.
he just
He
liked the
didn't.
hat.
Yeah, he just liked the hat. So I was like, yo, that's what's up, man.
That's,
I didn't tell him who
yeah,
I just shook
yeah,
his hand like, yo, that's a nice hat, man. And he was like, thank you. But it's crazy to see things work.
yeah,
What's one bugged out thing, man, is that when things in life work, they really do work. And that's crazy because we used to seeing so much or being taught that things don't usually work.
yeah, yeah. Awesome. Just wrapping up, man. What can we expect from you, man? Camouflage is still obviously something you want to push. It's something that's still a slightly
Mm-hmm.
fresh. Your relationship with Joe opens up different doors for you, and we're
Right.
soon probably gonna see you on television out here. You know what I mean?
I'm out there. I'm soon in
Yeah,
Joe Town.
yeah.
I'm out
Oh
there.
wait. So yeah. What is there anything we should be awaiting apart from obviously the merch, but music, anything in the works?
Yeah, please, man. I'm working on a lot of things right now. I have my next project is going to be titled Basic Instructions.
Okay.
Um, I'm working on it right now as we speak. We're working on stuff with Joe. Joe and I have a few things that are going to drop. Um, I'm just letting the Lord do what he do, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Blinding me up and I'm gonna knock him down. But I'm always, please, if you interested in UFO Fev, man, I'm always dropping stuff. So just keep your eye out because there's gonna be something real soon.
Yeah. Dope. Dope.
I
Dope.
don't let I don't I don't let I don't let people down.
No, you haven't thus far, man.
Yeah, word,
Yeah, around my
word.
way, Texas camouflage. I'm still yet to be disappointed by you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
We have a big show coming up next
Yeah,
week
your
too,
birthday
man. So
celebration, right?
yeah, we have a huge show coming up next week. So it's just about setting the city on. I'm just trying to lock the city up real quick.
Yeah.
Once I'm done with that, it's gonna be like you said, it's opening new doors, and every day there's somebody new that's
Yeah.
getting acclimated with me. So once we finish locking the city up, the music is at its highest quality right now.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I don't know, man. We winning. Joe is winning, so we winning right now.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be,
Teamwork.
yeah, teamwork make the dream work. So we going, it's going. 2018 is gonna be a beautiful year, man.
Dope, man. I can't wait, man. Look, I'm looking forward to your success. I like people who are growing based on merit, based on talent, based on hard work, and you're one of
No,
those
no
individuals,
crap.
man. Yeah, I
Yeah,
really want to see you on a major stage, on a major platform. Although these things help you, these things help us. Just getting
right,
to know different areas and different people from different continents and
right,
countries.
right.
But yeah, looking forward to your success. Anything you wanna plug?
First and foremost, I want to thank you so much for holding me down for the last 2 or 3 years, man. Every time I send you something, you always show love. You always reply. You one of the few people. You are one of the relationships I have. You know, early relationships I have, and I thank you.
No, thank you very
Camouflage.
much, man.
Camouflage, shout out, on all streaming services. Shout out to the entire continent of
Yeah.
Africa. I love everybody over there, man. I can't wait to go over there. And
Soon,
that's it,
brother.
man.
Soon, soon,
Yeah,
soon.
soon. Soon we'll be there, and that's it, man. Just look out for Camouflage and everything UFO Fev, thehighenterprise.com.
Dope, 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 dope. Have a good day over there in New York, my brother.
Yo, thank you so much, brother. You be safe, man. Anything you need from me, don't hesitate. I'm
No
here for you.
stress. No stress. Thanks a lot, man. Cheers.
Bless up, brother.